We're actually on the second phase of filming, and about 4 or 5 weeks ago, the cameraman and his assistant all came down and started filming for the first set of videos. And in it, I gave some advice on how to get your slightly older child to get back to sleep. And when my lovely cameraman Dan turned up today, I said, "How are you doing?" And he just dropped into conversation that he had actually put the steps into place, and he was having a good bit of sleep. But I'll let him explain it in far better words. Dan, tell us about it.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I was obviously filming with you, as you just said, and I was struck by the simplicity, of what you were talking about. And at the time, we had a 2-year-old boy was causing havoc every night. So he wouldn't go to his bed to sleep. If we actually, the technique was always that we'd get him to sleep in there first.
Right.
In fact, both of our children, the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old, they'd sleep in there first. Then when we came to bed, we'd lift them into their room.
Oh, before they...
Oh, yeah, right, both of them. Yeah, that's what we did. And then, but he would always wake up. And then he'd go absolutely mental.
Right.
So what we did was implemented your technique. So Esme, the girl, she was cool. She went straight off and she was fine because she's just a bit older and very wise anyway. Yeah. But George, I gave him a pep talk like he suggested. I explained why we were going to be doing what we were going to do. And then he ignored me totally and just brushed me off savagely. But then, I just kept taking him back into his bed. He'd come out screaming, "No, Daddy, no, no." And I calmly sort of got up and I counted like he suggested. It was like 20 to 25 times, I can't remember now. And but I kept putting him back in his bed, and eventually it all quietened down on night one. Night one? Yeah, eventually it quietened down.
Did you find it hard? Like, did you think about stopping, or was it
hard?
Well,
no, I was resolved because you said that you'd done it like 70 times, so that gave me a lot of
62.
There was a lot of fuel in my tank.
Okay.
So I was willing to see this through because I'd been sleeping in all sorts of strange places in the house. Previously I was sleeping in the loft a lot. Sometimes I'd end up on a bunk bed. Even my wife was having to vacate the bed after a while because George would turn kind of like a clock. He would turn around in 360s in the bed and kick everyone out. And we were quite tired, so I related to everything that you were saying. And then so I kept doing it. And then in the morning, I remember that you said you have to be strong about the time that you're letting
that you
into
accept as the start of the day.
Yeah. So I thought 7 a.m. sounds good because previously to that it was like 5:30, 6, whatever. So I set an alarm clock for 7.
Okay.
That was my brainwave because I didn't have I can't remember what.
Grow clock.
Yeah. So so what I did was when I made it so that he'd hear the alarm, and when the alarm went, he'd be crying in his room, like, "Come on, Daddy," or "Mummy," or whatever, please. And then I'd be like, "Okay, now the alarm's gone. Now you can come in."
Okay.
And so that took a few days to kick in, kind of Pavlov's dog kind of theory, So then he'd associate the alarm with the time he can come in. So then he kind of learned like a new set of rules, and he was happy.
Really?
And in fact, since then it was only 3 nights, and then it was all sorted. So I was so happy because I'd come here. I was paid to be here, which was great, filming you, and I got all your training for free. And now now my family are much happier because we can sleep, which is great. And so I've come in asking for advice on other issues, mainly child related, I should add. So it's good. So I'm really, this is genuine. It does work. So well done. I think it's great.
Thank you. I'm so pleased that you told me all about it. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having the techniques. I think it's great.
It's my pleasure. It really is.
Yeah.